Hey, I'm Luke Bolen, aka Impression, and you're watching Daniel Green Films.
Tell me, when did you begin singing and songwriting?
I actually began singing as a teenager in high school. Sophomore year, my first relationship, fell hard in love, so of course all my songs were about love, being in a relationship, puppy love, and, just kind of, trying to be real romantic about things. And it wasn't until my senior year in high school that I actually started branching out to finally realizing where I wanted to kind of put a perspective out for people what I was really about and what I was really writing about. So, I want to say one of the big points in my life was kind of like how I was raised versus how some of my friends were raised or how my acquaintances were raised, and just see different cultures and stuff, and then see things that matter to different people. It's like, okay, how can I relate to this, or how can I relate to that? Instead of writing about party, sex, drugs, and rock and roll and things like that, like what are some factors that people go through on a daily basis that they can actually think about, oh yeah, wow, that guy has a message to tell, or what's a way I can positively impact, the listeners. And that's kind of where my starting point is, and then it just kind of snowballs from there. So the first time I actually got a chance to put myself out there was in 2009, again my senior year of high school. I was asked to write a poem for an English final, and so we all wrote the same poem. Well, I wanted to be different, so I sang my poem instead of reading it out to the class. And this one guy named Bellamy, good friends with, he saw me, he came up to me after class, and he goes, "What do you think about being a part of a group, like singing for a group?" And I said, "Where can I start? Where we go?" And so we went and started recording, and we got a 4-man group together. It was me and singing, and then 3 people rapping. We hit up the studio with his uncle, who was actually a producer, and then by the senior picnic, we had released our first fully professionally recorded song, and during the pep rally, we got to actually give everybody a taste of what that was. And in front of 3,000 people, because we had a big school, and we just went all out right then and there, gave out 500 copies of the CD for free. It was great. Heard a song on the radio, played on the radio, aired radio 97.7 local station for a month. One of the big reasons why music's been an outlet, and for most people I believe, is even if you don't like music, music kind of defines part of who you are. It's like, because your soul can get really attached to music, and just the way that you can relate to things. And like if you're upset, you might listen to more of a hard, upbeat song, or more of a song that's going to talk about some attitude, opposed to where if you're happy, you might listen to like a pop song or something like that. And so music's always been an outlet for me, because it's like whenever I'm going through something, or whether I'm inspired or whatever, I can always just put it down on paper, and I can make a beat, and then I can just, it does all work, the melody, the music, and the beat, and just the words. pushed upon is having a message, having a story to tell, and kind of, as I said before, trying to relate with people and let them know that it's not so much superficial. Music doesn't have to be superficial. You can, really be inspired or motivated, through music and reminded of, things that matter. You can really talk about anything in a song. And like I have a song called "Live to Win," and I write about having a winning attitude, being able to, persevere and be strong even through obstacles. And I have another song called "Spirit," and that's about, being there for people, even in like dramatic circumstances, because you never know like how long that person could actually be there, and you could be hanging out with them one day and the next day could be gone, and just keeping everything together, So I didn't want to be labeled as a specific type of artist, like, oh, he sings rock, he sings rap, he sings hip hop, he sings gospel, like this is just him, nothing else. And I've been so diverse already, listening to country, rock, hip hop, R&B, orchestrated music, the whole 9 yards. So, even pop. So what I ended up coming up with was taking a mainstream feel from pop and hip hop music and having some singing, both singing and rapping in the song, and I combined it with orchestrated wind instruments and non-wind instruments. So it's just really like collaboration of the two. Alright, so one of the things that I hope to achieve this year, 2016, not necessarily a resolution, just kind of, I've been wanting to do this for a while. The opportunity presented itself when I started working for the apartment complex I work at, Bolen Manor, and I met a woman named Asia. She actually manages and records a female singer, songwriter, and rapper right now. And so we got talking about music, she heard kind of my message and everything, and she was like, I want to get a hold of Luke and get you in, and we'll get the ball rolling. So one of the projects we're going to do is we're going to do a photo shoot. We're going to get some sponsors, get out there, record an album, so we can push this out there locally, do events, see where that takes us, and then we have a whole website and everything to go off of, and really just see how far it goes. Alright, so you're not going to believe this one, but when I was thinking about who would I perform with these days, and I'm like, alright, who has a huge network already, who already has an audience, and what are they teaching that audience? What does that audience think about them? Are they respectable or whatnot? And then I went through a couple artists, and I had a couple options, and I was like, okay. And then I saw somebody who released a new album, and it was a 180 of everything they've ever written. They got hired in the music industry off of YouTube by Usher, and his name happened to be Justin Bieber. He released an album called Purpose, and on the album he talks about God 3 times. And then all the songs were talking about how, one of the songs that really spoke to me was called Children. It was talking about raising up a new generation of people who have a great head on their shoulders and are inspiring. And then I have another song talking about life is worth living, and just having that attitude and that sense of purpose. And his whole album was revolving around that. He's even talking about relationships and building trust. And I was just, wow. Like, he went from, every song was dedicated to like 10-year-old girls too. oh, I'm moving up in the world and I'm actually talking about things that matter. So I would collaborate with him, and because I feel like he's at a turning point in his life. You know, we could really do something. So December 26th, 2011, I was in the military for 2 weeks. My body had a terrible reaction to a vaccination. Don't really know which one it was, but at the beginning of the day, I just know that I was feeling really dehydrated. And in the course of 18 hours, I lost function to my right arm first, then my left arm, then both legs. Ended up on a hospital table. And they diagnosed me with something called Guillain-Barré syndrome. All right, the very next day, they were measuring my lung capacity because my breathing was failing. My lung capacity went down 10% every single day, actually every 4 hours. And by the time they called my parents and had them come over here to be flown in by Red Cross, I was on an intubator for life support because both lungs had shut down. I was on a feeding tube, catheter. The whole body was like a vegetable, pretty much. And basically what happened was my white blood cells are, freaking out thinking that there's something wrong when there's really not, and they're attacking your nervous system and your lower peripheral spine, and that causes you to become paralyzed. So about a month and a half of that, recovering, and 3 months down the road after that, finally all back together. But what it did was give me a sense of perspective to view on life. What's really important? Why should I not take things for granted? Why should I take people seriously? Why should I actually care about the things that I care about or don't care about that I should be caring about? And for example, just to give you a small glimpse of what happened, my first day out of the hospital in the open air, instantly cried. Why? It wasn't like, oh, those are man tears, or oh, that shouldn't be crying. It was like I could hear everything, like even from the things so simple as birds chirping to the wind, to cars driving by on the highway. The sun was shining. I hadn't seen the sun in days. I hadn't been outside in days. I hadn't heard life in days. This was a traumatic situation. So catching all that from that perspective, even just those little things were so huge. It's like there's a documentary on deaf people who are able to hear for the first time through this extraordinary device that they created, and you see the look on their face, and it's amazing. So that's really where it caused me to start writing these positive songs. So I want to be remembered for being, first and foremost, a respectable guy who, had a story to tell, who had a message to bring to the table, who gave inspiration, help people see the positive side of life, and to think about things that not everyone thinks about on a daily basis, to bring it beyond superficial into something deep, to show that people should actually care for one another and be an example of that in the best way that I can. And not only that, but for people to see a transformation in me, and because I know no one's exactly where they want to be. There's always a growth stage, and then for people to really see my life, or see what I want to kind of propose to the world, and then kind of get a really good take on it that they can take home with them, and just kind of be a light in the dark